Hey guys, Jordan Arell here, and today I want to talk to you about why I am so passionate about both healing circumcision trauma and holding that hand in hand with activism or finding solutions for circumcised men. And the reason that I hold these two so closely is partly because of my own journey. Because in my own path, I wasn't able to do any activism. I could barely even talk to people about it. I had no thing that I could really contribute to Foragen. I wasn't able to help people with the psychological side of it because I wasn't even helped myself. And once I got that healing, once I started doing the internal work to overcome that learned helplessness where I just felt so stuck, like nothing could help me, and like there was so little I could do, I became extremely empowered and now spending pretty much all day, every day working on coming up with stuff to make activism better, to help Foragen, to create trauma therapy, to improve myself and make myself better and a stronger, better person so that I can do more. And I'm also really passionate about self-development generally. And I think that a lot of the reason that the intactivist movement hasn't actually made more of an impact than it has, maybe because a lot of people have trauma that they haven't dealt with, and so they come from a very reactive place. Because, you know, when we have trauma, we come from a place in our psyches. You can actually look at the brain activation, and it's very primitive. It's not well thought out. It's not the prefrontal cortex, which is what helps heal trauma and what we can then come from when we've done more healing work, because that's the higher functioning part of us. And so, like someone like Brendan Marotta, who's done a lot of healing work and created this film, American Circumcision, which is by far the best thing ever created in intactivism. I think most intactivists would argue and agree. And he's one of the people who has done the most healing work of almost anyone. And I think that that's a good example of what I'm trying to say, is that when we bring compassion and love to those parts of ourselves, it sounds kind of airy-fairy, but it really is the way to make ourselves stronger and to heal that chaotic need to escape or need to repress or just trying to get away from it, which can, some protesting or some activism can come from that and have some positive effect, and it certainly helps to show how traumatized the people in this movement actually are, which is important to emphasize that this has really hurt us as profoundly as you can be hurt. And I want to acknowledge that and say that that's important. But I also think that in developing more clear strategy, for me at least, it's been really, really important to do healing work. And also that's a lot of the reason why I chose to work with this topic so much, is because I really value when I become hurt. I think if you look at a lot of people in history, you can see that some of the most amazing people in history are people who have had really severe trauma, really been hurt very badly in some way, or had a lot of struggle in their life and overcame that. And so in a way, I'm almost grateful now that I had to suffer through that unbearable, unspeakable suffering, because it has made me more powerful than I could have ever imagined. And I'm really, really excited to have come to a place of integration where I'm now starting to be able to give back and use all of that growth that I've had to, that I was forced to experience, and use that for the good. And I really think another thing about this is that, there's so many men who are hurt by circumcision. A lot of them the vast majority don't even know it yet, and will know it soon, which is kind of horrifying. But from this perspective, it's actually also a really huge opportunity for growth. And I think if we look at it that way and can bring that mindset to all the men who are hurt by this, then it's really a potential to help a lot of men develop a lot of empathy and a lot of resilience, and all of the things that research has shown that post-traumatic growth can develop in people. It can develop more sensitivity. It can help us want to do more good for the world. And so this huge trauma that has happened to us, and that right now is kind of hidden away and unprocessed and just repressed, and will soon, I firmly believe, explode into public consciousness. We can use that. We can take that and make it serve good. And so that's my purpose in this movement, or one of my main purposes, is to take that and turn it into something positive, to use that energy. And I mean, for myself, it's creating these therapy tools, as well as helping forage and to regenerate the foreskin for all men who are affected. And but after that, there's so much more I want to do with my life, and I'm excited for this all to be over with as well. I should add, because I think, or at least I hope, that this will help a lot of men to transform themselves and grow. Ultimately, I know it will for me, and so I can't wait to continue sharing these gifts with the world that I've gotten from finding healing for myself, and to show men that that's possible for everybody. It's possible to completely 300% heal from any circumcision, grief, trauma, the profound, unspeakable pain of that I just don't have the words to describe. There is help for that. And if you like, again, you can always reach out to me, jordanarel@hotmail.com, jordanarel@hotmail.com. Love to talk to you guys. Feel free to leave a comment or question below. Otherwise, I'll talk to you tomorrow.